Hello there, welcome to my views and news. Breaking news for you from Ethiopia, from Eritrea. 2 days ago, Ethiopian PM Abiy spoke for 45 minutes on Ethiopian need to have access to the Red Sea. And we were expecting response from those who PM Abiy addressed in that 45-minute long speech. Eritrea has issued its first official statement, 30 minutes ago. This is first state level official response from Eritrean government about Ethiopian PM's 45-minute long speech. PM Abiy's speech was 45-minute long and Eritrea issued very short, a brief statement. What is Eritrea saying? Is diplomatic tension between the two countries on the cards? Proxy war? What is going to happen? Before that, what did PM Abiy say and what is Eritrea saying? Any signs of common ground? Are they going to meet or are they going to drift apart? PM Abiy, when he spoke 2 to 3 days ago, tried to prove, citing some resources, that citing some historical, religious, ethnic points and international law, that Ethiopia has every right to have access to the Red Sea. Though he talked about Somalia, Somaliland, Djibouti, but mainly he was talking about Eritrea. And that is what we concluded, that all his talk was focused on Eritrea. He was sending a message to Eritrea. And if you remember, when I analyzed that PM Abiy speech, I said that maybe PM Abiy had offered something to Isaias Afwerki, but Isaias was not showing flexibility. PM Abiy said that Ethiopia was ready to offer land in return for having access to the Red Sea. It is ready to offer shares in GERD, in Ethiopian Airlines, Ethio Telecom, etc. I said that maybe these options have been tried, these offers have been made. Now it seems that offers have been made. And we were then waiting for statement from Eritrea, though immediately after and before the PM Abiy speech, we saw a barrage of criticism against Ethiopian government, Ethiopia, from Eritrean government-backed activists, one Eritrean diplomat, some Eritrean government-backed news outlets. But still we're waiting for official statement. And by the way, no statement from Djibouti, from Somalia, from Somaliland, from Kenya. So no one was offended by what PM Abiy said in the region. Only Eritrea was offended. It was very much expected that Eritrea would speak. And no one in Djibouti, opposition or government in Somalia, Somaliland or Kenya responded to PM Abiy's talk. But Eritrean Information Ministry responded today. So it has now been confirmed that PM Abiy's message, 45-minute long message, was for Eritrea, not for any other country. And Eritrea knew it was coming. That is why it isn't surprising for Eritrea. So what is the Information Ministry of Eritrea saying? A very short statement, I will sum it up for you. The Information Ministry of Eritrea says that numerous and excessive discourses on water and access to Red Sea have been floated around, perplexing observers, people. Government of Eritrea will never be drawn into such alleys and platforms. So don't be provoked. Telling its people, don't be provoked, stay calm. This is official Eritrean position. How to interpret this statement of Eritrean government? Firstly, Eritrean government says that such discourses have been ongoing. It's not something new. So people shouldn't be worried. First of all, it's not a big deal. By the way, it is a big deal. That is why the Ministry of Information spoke today. Otherwise, you know that Eritrea does not take positions on issues mostly publicly. Eritrea does not issue statements. What about Israel-Palestine war? Have you seen any official statement? How long did Eritrea take to take a position on the Sudan civil war? Several days. But here, just 2 days after PM Abiy spoke, Eritrean ministry issued a statement. So definitely it's a very sensitive issue. That is why Eritrean government is taking a position. So first point which Eritrea is saying, Eritrea says that it's no big deal. Such theories have been floated around. It's a big deal. Secondly, so what is now Eritrean government position? Government of Eritrea won't be drawn into such allies or platforms. What did PM Abiy say? PM Abiy did not threaten to wage war on Eritrea. He only said Ethiopia has a right to access to the Red Sea. If Abiy cannot secure this right, coming generations will secure the right, but the issue should be resolved, talks should happen, give and take can be done too. Ethiopia can give territory, Ethiopia can give shares, let's sit, let's talk. That is what he said. He is not saying I'm going to attack Assab, I'm going to attack Eritrea. He just said that let's talk. We are in trouble. We are 150 million people. We have every right to the sea, access to the sea. So let's talk. What is Eritrea saying? That Eritrea won't be drawn into such allies and platforms. So Eritrea does not want to talk to Ethiopia. It has been made clear now through this statement. Eritrea is calling the platforms of discussion allies, where people are trapped, narrow alleys sometimes. So Eritrea is outrightly rejecting any suggestion of talks with Ethiopia about access to the Red Sea. And lastly, Eritrean government is telling its people to stay calm. Don't be provoked. We have seen provocations from both sides. PM Abiy's statement is a provocation for Eritreans. Eritrean government, they're saying it's a provocation. It's an attack on our territorial integrity and sovereignty, and they're hitting back. Just a few 2 hours, I was read a video on statements of Ambassador Estefanos, who is ambassador to Japan, Eritrean ambassador. He said that Ethiopia has been teaching its kids for centuries that Ethiopia has every right to have Yemen, East Africa, because Ethiopia owns these territories. So we're seeing provocations on both sides. And Eritrean government is telling its people that people should stay calm, though government is backing these provocations. We know that. Ambassador Stefanos is Eritrean serving ambassador to Japan. He is part of provocation, spreading provocation. So Eritrean government is trying to play smart by saying that we don't want to provoke any conflict. We don't want to create any conflict. But our position is very clear. We don't want to talk. These theories are waste of our time. Very strong statement. It cannot be stronger than that. Briefly, Eritrea has announced that it won't talk to Ethiopia about the Red Sea issue, about ports. It does not mean that talks have not been held. What I understand is that after Pretoria deal, maybe before that too, PM Abiy tried to talk to Isaias Afwerki. Maybe Isaias Afwerki promised something to PM Abiy before the start of or during the Tigray war. PM Abiy was hoping that after the conclusion of the war, his government, his country will have access to the Red Sea through a support. But Eritrea not happy with implementation of Pretoria deal. Eritrea wanted to completely eliminate TPLF. TPLF still there. Tigray fighters, tens of thousands still armed, deployed along Takaze river along Eritrea border. So Eritrea definitely not happy with implementation of Pretoria deal. it does not want to honor its commitment if it happened. Maybe Isaias Afwerki gave false hopes to Ethiopian PMAB. And it seems that in recent months, Ethiopia tried the option of offers. It offered share in good, offered its territory to Eritrea in return for having access to the Red Sea. And by the way, Ethiopia does not want access to just a support. It wants total rights over the area leading to a support and the coast as well. So it wants Eritrean territory. It does not want just access to a port. It already has access to Djibouti's port. It is in talks for having access to Kenya's Lamu port. It can have access to Somaliland's Berbera port. In fact, a road was being built 2 years ago to connect Berbera with Ethiopia. So port access is no problem. Ethiopia wants total rights over the corridor, over the port, over the coast, which it wants to have. So it wants territory, you can say. It wants Djibouti, Kenyan, Somalia's, Somaliland's or Eritrean territory with a port, and it is ready to offer territory in return. Now, we'll discuss in coming videos how is this statement going to impact Ethiopia-Eritrea relations. But one thing is very clear, that diplomatic tensions are going to rise between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Not a good sign for a troubled region where already there is war in Sudan, internal war in Ethiopia, warlike situation in Amhara region. In Somalia, counter-insurgency operation ongoing in against Al-Shabaab in Somaliland, an internal conflict we know between Somaliland, within Somaliland community. And now on Eritrea, Ethiopia border, we could see tensions rise. Is a war coming? Let's hope there is no new war, no imminent war, obviously no mobilization of forces on the ground. I did some detailed videos to conclude that Ethiopia is not in a position internally, in terms of regional support, international support, to wage new war. Ethiopia has taken a position, diplomatic posturing, but what options does Ethiopia have now? I talked about proxy war to last night. In the next video, today or tomorrow, I'll try to have a detailed look at some other options available for Ethiopia. But it seems that now we're going to see serious tensions between Abiy and Isaias, between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Thank you for watching.